Okay, let's talk PMSL CSA and Alpha Gaming. We got Doc, we got Top, we got Zyol, Reefus, and Baron. The first four will probably be the starting four and most likely will play all the matches. Theoretically, this is a powerhouse roster, one of the best that's ever been devised in the region's history. So, where's the problem? The problem is in the team's form. They finished 13th in the recently concluded S tier event PMGO and 7th before that in the Global Championship, which would be considered a decent showing, but then you have to peel back the layers and realize that they didn't even qualify for the finals. They only got in because Brute Force had visa issues. Not to mention the fact that this is not the same roster that competed in the PMGC. They have brought in Top and Zyol, which on paper should improve the roster, but it hasn't been the case so far. I have to base my assumptions on the only event of note that has happened since the PMGC, which is the PMGO. Zyol and Top joined this roster in January and February respectively. So they didn't have much time to synergize with the roster, which showed in the PMGO. Doc came out of the woodworks though, showing up as the finals MVP, which will be a very big boost for them. I mean, Doc is arguably the best player in the world right now, definitely the best player in the region, and he has so many MVP awards in this region that it's ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that he is the MVP of both the Super Leagues that has been held in this region. Alongside that, he is the champion with Baron and Reefus in 4 Miracle Vibes. Again, make no mistake, this is a super team in every meaning of the word imaginable. These 5 players combined have 3 PMPLs, 5 SA championships, 1 regional clash title, 2 Super League titles, 1 global championship, 2 PMGC MVP awards and 1 PMGO MVP award. So where is the worry? The worry lies in the fact that are they still those players? Are they still world class? Are they still some of the best players in the world right now? I mean, Top didn't exactly have a groundbreaking 2024. He finished second in both the Super Leagues with Falcons Force and finished 14th in the PMGC, something that is not up to the mark by his standards. He didn't exactly get any MVP awards either, which is expected of him. He used to be called the best player in the world, which he was, but is he that person anymore? He used to be CSS Mr. MVP, but that title isn't bestowed upon him anymore. That title is on the shoulders of Doc. So he did what many wise men before him have done. He joined them. Followed suit, did another PMGC MVP in the form of Zyol. But he didn't exactly have an earth-shattering 2024 either. His IHC finished 13th in the PMSL CSA fall and only got through to the PMGC on a special invite. There they finished 35th, which is why I am putting so much importance on their PMGO result. Because they didn't have a lot of time to synergize, yes, but they wanted to win that championship. Many people would like to have you believe that they didn't even try, but it was an S tier event. Only one of them have won it before, and there was $100,000 on the line for first place. And they walked away with just $13,000 for finishing in 13th place. I mean, Doc was the finals MVP for crying out loud, so it means they must have tried to do their best. But they even finished below Upgrade Team, who will be participating in the PMSL CSA as well. So does that mean it's all doom and gloom for Alpha Gaming? No, they're still one of the best rosters in the world right now. They're still the Mongolian super team. They're still one of the favorites to win this year's PMSL CSA, if not the favorite. But the problem is the competition this year. Their biggest competitor undoubtedly will be Team Spirit. They finished 8th in the PMGC last year and will be going into this PMSL CSA with an unbroken roster. They have one of the best IGLs in the history of the game in Kitsune and world-class players like Matic, Nomi and Effect. They are the biggest contender for this year's Super League title alongside Alpha Gaming, and the entirety of Central and South Asia is waiting to see this contest before our eyes. Both of these teams will be thanking their lucky stars that Incilio Gaming, who finished 9th in the PMGC last year, is not here due to some roster complications. But they will have to contest with esports superpower Navi's PUBG Mobile roster as well as Brute Force's PUBG Mobile roster, who has been acquired by Saudi Arabian esports organization Al Qadsiya Esports. This is the same team whose place, formerly known as 4MB, now known as Alpha Gaming, took in the PMGC finals. We also have another esports giant in the name of Virtus Pro, who has players like Tixi and Frozen who will be trying to make their mark, as well as the usual South Asian suspects. So now let's finally try to answer that $1,000,000 question. Will Alpha Gaming win this PMSL CSA? I'm just not sure. There's way too many contenders, especially in the form of team spirit. I mean, yes, it's still Doc, Top, and to some extent Zayol, but you can never say for sure. The competition is so fierce this year that you can never for sure say that this team will be the champion. I think we have to step away from that conversation and think about another thing that actually matters: the slots to the PUBG Mobile World Cup or PMWC. There's gonna be 3 handed out in this year's PMSL CSA. So most teams will be trying to secure their spots for that PUBG Mobile World Cup. I think Alpha Gaming will be no different. Yes, they will try to win the championship like every year, but the competition will be more tough this year and the stakes higher. And even though I have been critical of the roster changes, I think by now it will play in their favor. Zayol is someone who can fill in the gaps that sometimes, as tough as it sounds, Baron created in 4MV's roster. So I think they are well suited to go all the way again this year. But if you want to know my answer to the question, will Alpha Gaming win the PMSL CSA? I will say maybe. But for sure, I think they are a shoo-in fit for the PUBG Mobile World Cup. That's it from my side today. Thank you for watching. Peace.